Thank God I scheduled you for 9 o'clock because I would have gone over with this complete idiot. Oh my God. So dumb. So dumb. And I almost lost my shit. But luckily, it was the end. And I said, goodbye. Enjoy your ball. I'm out.
Globe Earther, huh?
Oh God. So dumb. So dumb. But whatever. We live in the Matrix.
Amen,
Jake,
amen.
how you doing? Your Instagram is my favorite. I'm the improbable dreamer. I finally got it right. I always said impossible dreamer. So improbable dreamer. And the number one thing I love about you is you don't really make any claims. You're going, look at this, look at this,
Indeed.
look at this.
Well,
So
my father always told me, picture's worth 1,000 words, and sometimes, you just gotta present the evidence right in front of it, and it speaks for itself.
yeah, I mean, every time I watch your videos, my mind is blown. I'm like, holy crap, another rabbit hole. What is this? What is this place? And basically, I've learned I can't rule anything out. Where do you get all of those videos that show the giants and stuff? Where are you finding this stuff?
Man, it's just been like some kind of hobby, I guess. It started out with years and years and years ago. I just kind of almost like a digital pack rat, like just started collecting pictures and images of things that interested me. And, whether or not I necessarily believed it at the time, I just kept collecting it. And gigabytes turned into terabytes and turned into several external hard drives later. And, like you said, it's just myself going down these rabbit holes. And next thing you know, I have hundreds and hundreds of pictures, whether it's, the mainstream sources of the Matrix can be great uses of research if you know what you're looking for. Like I like using loc.gov, Library of Congress, lots of just old images from there, old newspaper clippings, and of course you got the Telegram, Instagram, all that stuff can be great sources for research and digging deeper into this theory, because we really just have fragments and bits and pieces, and it's up to us collectively as a community, as and your own gig with Flat Earth, it's a crowdsource thing. It really is. We're learning and growing together, and every day I'm finding more things that myself blows my mind. Like just about the other month or two ago, I didn't even know a World's Fair in Omaha, Nebraska existed. And if you look in Omaha, Nebraska, 99% of the people living there wouldn't have a clue either. The only thing that shows any signs of this great, palace fit for kings and fit for royalty is just a plaque and a rundown baseball diamond in a cruddy part of Omaha that says, hey, here's was a World's Fair, and yada yada yada.
But Abraham
It's just
Lincoln lived in a log
mesmerizing.
cabin.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And you see all these cities of America alone, and looking like America, Australia, and they all just look so built up so early on.
Yeah, none of it makes any sense to me. And people are triggered saying, when people use the term Tartaria, I don't know where Tartaria started and Tartaria ended, but I call it the Tartarian time because that's when all of this stuff happened. Whether Tartaria was mostly in Russia, whether it was worldwide, I don't know. It's just the old world. I like calling it the old world.
Exactly. Yeah, and Tartaria has become kind of a blanket term for a lot of people.
Like Band-Aid.
Exactly. Yeah. The old world is a great term I've kind of utilized a lot in recent years, and really exactly right. It encompasses a period of history, several hundred years of history, in fact, that really we have very little clue as to what actually happened. We got the mainstream that they paint a pretty picture and they try and make it all fit linearly, but really it does not at all.
You
Especially
said that
these World's Fairs.
Most of the people was it Philadelphia wouldn't know that. Where was it? The World's Fair, you said?
Omaha.
Omaha.
Well, really, any of these
90% of
people.
You
look at them today.
Yeah. So I live right near New York City, and I haven't done it for a few years, but I went in there and I asked people in New York City, in Midtown, how many buildings fell on 9/11, and what about world, when they say 2, I said, what about Trade Tower 7? And they're like, what's that? Okay, that's in New York City.
Exactly.
That's just a few years ago. So expecting people in anywhere to know anything beyond 25 years ago is fascinating. The short attention span of the world is how they get away with all of this stuff.
Exactly. And that's what a lot of people in like my comments on my videos to say, oh, well, I know my great grandparents, yada, yada, but what do we really know about them? And if you think back to it, aside from your grandparents and your great grandparents, how many of us can actually track knowledgeably our lineage and our past? And it really only truly takes a few generations, as you said with that 9/11 example, to erase history. You know what is being debated today is going to be what they want to is considered absolute canon. It doesn't matter how much the opposition has facts that dispute it, as you know with the flat earth. No matter what facts we present to the mainstream, they'll just dismiss it. History is written by the victors, as they say.
It's so easy to dismiss something because it takes zero thought to dismiss something. Right? To confirm something, you have to actually think. And then most people, unfortunately, don't know how to think. So somebody that sounds like they know what they're talking about says something that they don't understand. They're like, yeah, that makes sense. Right? And then they go have a beer. Right? And
exactly.
It's like I didn't learn this stuff by sitting on my ass watching Gilligan's Island, although I grew up sitting on my ass watching Gilligan's Island. Okay. But now it's like I can't even conceive of watching nonsense. Like I'm always researching. Even if I once in a while I'll sit down and watch a movie or something once in a blue moon, but I'm on my computer like looking up this, looking up that and stuff. So
Same.
It's a thirst for knowledge, right? That becomes it's overwhelming. Like, I always say it, the greatest thing about what we do is we're never bored. I will never be bored. Ever
Amen.
be bored.
Amen. There's just so much. And, like I said, it's a community crowdsourcing thing. We're learning and growing more daily. Like there's never there's never research to not be done. You know what I mean? There's always another rabbit hole to go down. I myself have just a list of growing places. People tell me, check out this, check out here. You got to go to this city. You got to look here. And I truly try and write them all down and do them, justice. But of course, it's a growing list. You're never bored.
Yeah, never bored. So let me ask a question. Do you kind of just keep to yourself? I haven't seen you on any shows. Maybe I just haven't looked. But are you just doing your thing? Are you just on Instagram? What's your story?
Yeah, I'm just kind of going by, the seat of my pants right now. I'm riding the wave. Couple of years, I've been doing this, researching myself internally for well over a decade. Never had plans to be a big online presence, big social media presence. Truth be told, a couple of years back, I just made a few videos of all the, gigabytes of pictures and videos I collected on TikTok, just to kind of show my friends and family. It's hard to just bust out your phone and be like, hey, look, hold still for a second. Let me show you a picture. But I thought, well, I'll make a video or two and show my buddies. Then I posted TikTok, went to bed, woke up the next day, and it was at like 15,000. I was like, oh, wow, okay. So then I created another one and another one. And people were like, hey, I like the way you're presenting stuff. So I just kept going. And, a few years later, here I am. And I am right now by myself. I haven't really done too many shows, a couple, minor podcasts. I do have a couple things possibly in the works in the pipeline, but I'm just trying to understand and learn the whole game as I go. And it's a fun ride.
Yeah, it's I realize that I'll never be done. I'll never be done learning. I don't think there's ever going to be a day where my mind isn't completely blown. Like every day, I'm like, oh, I got it all now. Wow, nothing's going to beat yesterday. And I'm like, what the hell? What is going on? Have you, what's the guy, Hangman, what's his name? The YouTuber, his name is Hangman, and then there's a bunch of numbers. And he's the guy that goes through the forest and shows where the rocks turn into trees. Have you seen
I've
that?
seen some of that. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
I've
so
seen some of
he's
those.
like, this is a tree, and this giant rock ridge is a branch, and the base of that tree is 10 miles around, and it's over there. And then
Mm-hmm.
he found a spot, several of them, where the rocks that he claims are trees actually morph into wood. Where like you can see that it's wood that hasn't turned into rock yet. It's like, and there's
Yeah, I've seen
still
some of
people that
those.
deny it. There's still people that deny it. Now,
It's unbelievable. That
he's not,
those and the giants are like,
yeah,
you know, grade A stuff, easy to kind of ingest. I can't believe people deny that stuff. Absolutely. The giant trees, no
yeah.
brainer, especially Devil's was it
Devil's
uh
Tower.
Devil's Tower. Yeah, sorry, it's been a
I
long
think
day.
that is I think that's a weed next to some of the trees. That
Right, honestly.
it's incredible. It's incredible. So
Honestly. Yeah, and I mean, just whether it's, Tartaria, the mud floods, which, go hand in hand themselves, world fairs, great fires, there really is never a dull moment. And, I do have hopes of expanding here soon. And, it's one of the reasons I was happy to sit down with you. Like, kind of read your testimonial, you were in the corporate world and stuff, and then you kind of bucked the trend. And that's kind of what I feel like my direction is going here. People are asking me like, "Oh, when's the podcast coming? When's the book coming?" And I don't know. I'm just like kind of in a fun whirlwind right now, kind of just living in the moment. I got a full-time job right now, got a wife and a kid, doing my family thing, but I could see this very much becoming a full-time gig.
my recommendation is just focus on your passion, feel it, and allow it to rule your life. I mean, I went to college, I went to corporate America, I left corporate America, started my own company. I did, the American dream, and I achieved everything that and beyond what I thought I was supposed to reach. And then my passion was the flat earth, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
this is, I don't want to say the most important thing, because it's the one thing that ties everything together. And I was like, I had no idea how it could possibly be something that I do all the time, but then it happened. I just allowed it, and I just kept focusing. And the universe, for lack of a better word, keeps delivering. It keeps answering. Right? I think the biggest
Amen.
secret in the world is that. Were you a Star Trek guy?
Yep.
So remember the one
Yep.
where the landing party, Kirk, McCoy, the whole thing, they landed, and it was anything they thought of appeared, right? Don Quixote killed
Mm-hmm.
Tulu or whatever, and then all of this stuff, and it turned out it was like an amusement park where whatever you think manifests instantly. Well, I think that's where we live. Okay, I think that's where we live right now, and
Honestly.
and
Yeah.
and the time it takes things to manifest happens to do with where you're vibrating. Okay,
Yep.
that's the biggest secret. That's what they don't want us to know, right? And they don't
Mm-hmm.
want us to know that we have this great power. And you know
Positive manifestation. It is
yeah,
amazing what we can do collectively and even individually. I truly do believe in a lot of sense we are our own creator. And why a lot of this stuff is becoming so readily available and in the mainstream, whether it's flat earth or Tartaria, is because as more of us are waking up daily, and it's, from great people like you and, other people in my field here that are waking people up in masses, and they're manifesting all this information, and the universe is indeed delivering.
I think that's what we're supposed to do here. I think our job here is it's a puzzle. We're supposed to figure it out, and we're supposed to help other people figure it out. We're supposed to do
Yeah,
whatever we can. We're not supposed to sit on our ass and wait for a savior. Okay?
exactly.
We're supposed to,
Exactly.
we are our own savior, right? We are our only enemy. Okay? If
We are our
everyone got
light.
out of their own way, we'd win instantly. If everybody got out of their own way.
They've seen how they were dividing us. That's just it. If we woke up, even a majority of us woke up tomorrow and decided to stand up from being played on our backs this whole game by the elites, the game would be over with that day.
Yeah.
It's not even 99% versus 1%. It's the less than the 1%. It's like a quarter of a
It's the
percent.
nothing. It's the nothing.
Yeah.
It's really nothing. And they
And
have
that's,
no, and people, the argument that people say, I'm just one person. I still have to go to work on Monday. Well, I don't have to go to work on Monday. I don't know how the hell that happened. Right. And you can change everything, right? You can change everything yourself. And people don't realize that.
indeed, it really, and let my story be a testament to those that are afraid to, speak their voices. I was apprehensive. Everybody's shy to go in front of a camera. It's never easy, and even to this day, it's a little awkward.
I always hated being on microphone and on camera, and now that's what I do. I mean, the universe has got a sense of humor too.
It really does. It really does. I mean, that's what I do for a living in my 9 to 5. I talk to people all day, and when I get off work, and I talk to people all night on my job that I want to be my main job, and I think someday it very well may soon. And it's not about the money. Like, I've taken no endorsements. I've gotten many of them. I've gotten offers and stuff like that, but I will never endorse a product that I truly personally don't believe in, because I think it muddies my brand. Like, I'm not going to sell myself out for some corporate shill just to make a quick buck. Like,
No.
I'll continue what I'm doing, and as you said, the universe has blessed me, whether it's monetizations or things like that I've done where I haven't had to sell myself or my principal short.
Right. On my app, I have a shopping center, right, where I'll list anyone's products as long as I love them. Okay. It has to be something that I endorse, right?
Yeah.
And hey, by the way, if anyone's listening, I am looking for a jewelry maker that works with silver, that can smith silver. Okay, anybody that you have to understand what flat Earth is, and if you're a silversmith, I'm looking for somebody.
That's fine. My father-in-law is a jeweler.
FlatEarthDave.com. Yeah, I'm looking for somebody actually to make these and others that look like this. It's a flat Earth.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, I like that.
And I'm looking. There's one girl is making them, but she very aloof. Can't get in touch with her for months at a time. So I'm looking for somebody, and I'll put your store in my app. You'll have worldwide. People will see it, and you'll get lots of orders. So anybody, go to FlatEarthDave.com. Contact me.
There you go. Keep the ear to the ground for you, buddy.
There's people out there.
So Flat Earth, what really got you into Flat Earth? Like, what was the waking up point for you? Was it the moon landing?
This is really funny is most people wake up to the moon landing, then wake up to Flat Earth. I woke up to Flat Earth, and this was before YouTube had, Hangouts and whatever. And we're on a Skype. We'd be on Skype with 5, 10, 15 people for like all night. And we're on and we're talking. And at one point they started talking about the moon landing. And I'm like, wait a minute. You guys don't believe the moon landing's real? Silence. Everyone's like, what? And the answer is because I never looked into it. I never looked. And they're like, watch this, watch this. And literally it took me 10 minutes. I'm like, holy crap. And the problem is people think that the lie's so big they can't see it. It's so big. Like, you know who David Nino Rodriguez is? He's so you know who he is. He has this big stream. He's a good guy. He's kind of getting it. I think he knows the Earth is flat. He's a little afraid. But he had a guy from Space Force on the other day. It actually aired last night as a premiere. And he called me beforehand, a couple of days before. He said, "Do you want to come on my show with this guy from Space Force?" I'm like, right on, right? So we're trying to work out the schedule. But this guy, and I was in the chat, and let me tell you something. Flat Earthers are passionate, and sometimes they're really mean, okay? And and I ask people, just relax. They're calling him a shill. This guy is not a shill. He's not a liar either, okay? He believes everything he's saying, okay? He's just a guy that was in the system, and they brought him up, and they're like, this is the perfect guy, wife, kids, young, right? And he believes everything he's saying. So I'm a little concerned about doing the show with him, because if he listens to me, I'm going to destroy his entire world. But then he's going to resprout. He's going to come from after that. Like he won't be able to keep his job after he knows what I'm going to show him. Right? It's really,
Right.
really, like, I'm torn because I don't want to blow up the guy's life, but the guy's wasting his life. I mean, the guy is just, Space Force nonsense. But so the lie is so big, like people, like even David, I think, was getting sucked into his story, right? But his story is just stories. He's never been to space. He's never seen a satellite in space. He's never done any of the things he's talking about. So there's just like him. He's kind of an example of what happens if the whole world wakes up to flat Earth tomorrow. There's going to be a lot of destruction. Okay, there's going to be a lot of destruction, but out of the ashes comes a new world. So,
Dude,
yeah,
with every end is a new beginning, and that's kind of what we're heading towards now. Whether or not it's the elites directing it what they want or what their image is, or it's what ours is. And I think it goes back to that manifestation thing. I feel we are at a crossroads, at a turning point here, and it's either what we envision for this realm, whatever this realm truly is, or it's what they envision for this realm. And I do truly feel that for all those, it's, oh, what difference does it make, or oh, what does it matter? I think it truly does matter. What's in our thoughts, what's in our hearts and our intentions truly can change the world.
Absolutely. Our thoughts create our reality. And I tell people, look at your life, no matter how miserable or happy you are, it's because of what you think. It's because of the way that you think. And people, they're, I want $1 million. I want to be super fit, but then they don't do anything about it. And when they say I want $1 million, deep down inside, they're thinking, I don't have $1 million. I'll never have $1 million. And that's what you're truly sending out. It's not your words, it's your inner thoughts that matter. Okay?
Exactly.
Your inner thoughts. And so I tell people, the saying, don't put the cart in front of the horse. I don't know, maybe that's an old saying. Well, you got to put the emotion, the feeling in front of the accomplishment, right? Because it's already done. You just don't see it yet. And you got to put that feeling. So if someone's like, I want this money, I'm like, you don't want money. Yes, I want money. No, you want something that money will give you. What is that? Well, I want a new house. So like, well, you want a new house. How would that feel to have a new house? How would that feel? And I get them to focus on the feeling, and then the magic happens. The magic happens. But people are taught, I don't have it. I don't have it. I won't have it, and be scared. Right. And then when they lower you, if you watch the news, they steer your mind with the news, north, east, west, south, and they put the worry lines in your head with the headlines. Right. So they keep you in that low fear. You've now disconnected yourself even further. You have yourself in a ball, right? Limiting your thoughts to the globe. You're like Truman, and now you're worried and fearful, and you've disconnected yourself from creation.
Agreed. And you think that's a big portion of why they lie to us about flat Earth, the NASA, and all that stuff, is to separate us from creation.
Yeah.
See, I definitely know we don't spin on a globe. I know NASA, what they say to us is complete lies.
That's all you need to know. That's it right there. That's it. Like, I don't know a lot about flat Earth. I know we don't live on a globe. I know we're not flying through an infinite space universe. I know that we're intelligently designed. That's it. And then from there, that's everyone's personal journey from there. Okay? It's your own journey from there.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen. There's just so much. That's what I say to the people that, they can be violent and passionate, I guess, in all sides of what their views are, and very strongly positioned in when it's flat Earth or even the globe Earth people, all of that. I tell the people in my comment sections is never be too quick to rush to one conclusion. We've been lied to about our whole life, about everything. Yeah. Literally everything. What we thought was up is down, and vice versa. And that's the same thing when people ask me, are you a flat earther, or are you a globe earther, what is it? It's like, I don't know yet. I know, like I said, I know there's probably lands beyond Antarctica without a doubt. I know Antarctica is just a ball of mystery and a rabbit hole among a rabbit hole in itself here in goodness, that's one of the top 5 places I'd love to visit in my life. Out of all the places I could go, Antarctica would definitely be one of them. But we may never know all the truths. And I tell people it's not about finding all the answers to these questions. And that's part of the beautiful thing about life is life has an abundance of questions and mystery and beauty that comes with them. But it's solving these mysteries and getting closer to these answers that maybe our children can live in a more free and more defined world than we could. They actually have, classes being taught about flat Earth now and about Tartaria, that nobody ever would have dreamed of talking about 5, 10 years ago. And children are being brought up to a whole different side of history in this world that whether it's 100% true or not, it's a whole different way of looking at it, or a whole different perspective, a free thinking society, which we are far from right now.
So you've seen this map, right? This old map.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this is one that really opens up people's minds, right? And it helped people like, what the heck is going on? And then have you seen where we found some ships that were way inside of Antarctica? Hundreds and hundreds of miles. They were like 300, 400, 500 miles inside of Antarctica. And so you can click on any one of these dots and it'll tell you what the ship is, where it's going, and who's the captain. And we click on these dots, very little information. Okay. So it said the ship was 580 meters by 80 meters wide. That's a gigantic ship. And it was registered on the island of Kiribati, right? So where's Kiribati? Out here in the South Pacific, in the middle of nowhere. I had to put a pin on it so you can see it. Okay. You zoom in, the friggin' sandbar. Okay. It's a friggin' sandbar, right? And China and America are highly involved. China just gave them $10 billion. $10 billion. Okay. So what's going on there, right? So people have been looking around and like, I found a pier, I found this, I found that. Just recently, somebody found the Captain Cook Hotel on Kiribati.
Okay.
The Captain Cook Hotel.
That is great.
How crazy is that? How
that is friggin' hidden in plain sight right there.
Yeah.
As always.
The Captain Cook Hotel. And so my contention is that they're shipping routes to the outer lands, right? Shipping routes to the outer lands. Here's a question. If there was shipping, whether they're trading technology, food, children, whatever, right? How would you know? Because you never even heard of Kiribati. Okay. How would you know? You wouldn't know, right? The people in Kiribati probably don't even know what America is. Some of them,
Right.
So how would you know? How would you know?
And that's just like a marker, like right there, like that's a marker, and then just set you're heading for this direction from Kiribati, and
some of those ships,
boom, to the ice wall.
I've seen pictures, maybe it was on some of your videos, but these ships have the old antennas and tic-tac on them. Maybe they're electric ships, right?
Yeah.
Who knows? But the Captain Cook Hotel.
That's awesome.
What is going on there?
I heard they submerge underwater to go through to the ice walls here. That's why we hear a lot of UFO reports. I can't remember what video I watched this on recently, but it's quite intriguing. That's why we have so many videos and reports of them coming out of water and stuff like that, is, through tunnels or, little portholes through the outer walls.
Yeah. So have you seen this where you can go on Google Earth, your own Google Earth, and take out the measuring tool, and you can measure, I think this is the right one. Let's measure, here we go. We're going to go here. Oh, so I'm trying to draw a line all the way around the Earth, right? I'm trying to draw a section all the way around the Earth. And when I try to connect the lines when going east-west, where is it? Coming around. Oops, not very good with this. It won't connect.
Whoa.
It won't connect. It goes that way.
Whoa.
Okay? It won't connect. Right?
That is weird.
Right. And you've seen the other one where you can connect. So I'll draw around America, and it'll give me the circumference, the square miles right there. Bam,
Hmm.
no problem. Jump a little forward. Go down to I did Australia at work, but when we do Antarctica, watch this.
Oh, wow. It doesn't give the, wow.
Yeah, and the same thing
That,
happens. Same thing happens in the north. So if we go up and we do look, Greenland, no problem, and the North Pole. If I did it bigger, it does it just as bad as down south.
I love
Crazy,
how
right?
all the old maps show so much land at the North Pole, and now there's nothing, they say, but just ice and water. And if you go to, have you ever went to a time lapse and looked over Antarctica and
Not a time lapse.
the
Here's the
North
North
Pole?
Pole. North Pole. Look what it does. Look at that.
Wow.
So
Search.
the two places that would tell us what the hell's going on are off limits on Google Earth and on Earth.
Well, there's another thing, so you know they tell us all about man-made global warming and the ice caps are melting, yada yada. Search time lapse here on Google Earth if you can here.
I can't pull up a
Is it
window.
recording?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you go to time lapse here on Google Earth, let me see. I can share screen, can I?
I think so. Hold on, let me make sure you can share.
Okay.
Your screen.
Yeah.
Yep, you can share. Go ahead.
Let's see here. Let me pull it up first. I'll show you a little trick of how they distort what the North Pole and South Pole is. So you should think a time lapse, right?
I've seen a time lapse where we watch the shadows go around and there's a 10-hour gap every night.
Nope. Yeah, that too. That's interesting too. But in particular here, so as I showed you, let me see. Let me pull up my screen here now. Sorry. Okay. Share screen. Okay. So, see north. Can you see my screen okay here?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay. So you see Antarctica here, and you notice when you go down in the middle, you see this almost whole circle right here, including right smack dab in the middle here. It's just completely, obviously photoshopped out. Whatever the heck it is, we don't know. But
Yeah.
check this out.
Wow.
Go to time lapse. And just now look what happens to the poles during the time lapse here. See that weird blacked out circle?
So this is a time lapse of how much time?
It just, where is it?
Oh, it's showing.
Oh, right here. Yeah, right here. It just shows like from 2020 all the way back to 1989, and eventually this whole like weird like shadowy circle. You know, maybe it's a glitch.
They can't bring it around. They can't, because that's all made up there. That's all the outside. It's inverted.
Now, flash forward to, let's go to the North Pole. What do you see here?
Wow.
Oddly,
maybe that's the pole that goes through the Earth.
The same exact thing. So my thoughts are, okay, so if you're hyping up every day that, you know, we're destroying our environment and killing the planet, wouldn't you want to see a time lapse in Google Maps of the poles? At least even some fake, but they can't even show us what's here in a time lapse version. And of course, when you exit out of the time lapse, hang on a sec, you shall see the North Pole returned back to its weird distorted self.
I can still see the circle there. It's just like,
you can now.
Yeah.
You can. Yep. Once you see it, it's kind of like the old once you see it, you can't unsee it type thing. And then there it goes once you put on time lapse. That's just little weird things like that. Here, I'll give you back my screen, your screen here. But that's one thing I found a long time ago. But it's weird how, again, using the tool of the controllers for our own benefit. I mean, when you know what to look for, when you have an open eye and an open mind, you can really, you're surprised what you find daily.
How many videos a week are you putting out on TikTok and Instagram?
Oh boy. Well, I usually post at least 2 times a day, 6 days a week. So 4, 6, Anywhere from 10 to 20, sometimes even 3 to 4 videos a day. Sometimes I post 7 days a week. It
Wow.
really all depends. I was posting a lot more on YouTube here. I grew my channel quite a lot there, but my wife's finishing up her teaching gig here. She's just doing her student teaching, so she's actually graduating and all that. So she's been bogarting the main computer, so to speak. So she's just celebrating her birthday with her twin sister today. So I was perfectly able to get on here and chat with you for a little while. But
Do
yeah, I
all of
mean,
you do all of your videos go on Instagram? Because that's where I'm watching all of your stuff.
yep. Yeah, so I create them in TikTok just because I mean I don't know, that's where I started. That's where
Yep.
it's easiest for me to kind of navigate. And then I post them to Instagram. I also post them onto my Telegram, my Facebook.
And
I'm
everything's
on
I am
like
the
almost everything.
improbable dreamer.
Yes, on TikTok it's the Doctor Regenerated. There's like a link tree in all my bios here, and you
Okay.
can see all my sites. I recommend highly. Everybody asks, "Oh, where's all these pictures?" Yada yada. I post every picture that I use in my video on my Telegram page,
Okay.
as well as kind of going. And also I have my Telegram chat. That's about the only teammate I have with that here. My great moderator Samuel. He's an awesome guy. He's been running my Telegram chat. We have there just chatting about all things from flat Earth, mud flood, Tartaria, and everything in between. And
Sweet.
of course, you'll find all the pictures and stuff I use right on my Telegram.
I will definitely look there and add some of them to my presentation whenever I talk about the old world.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I say, share away. Like all my content will always be free and available to all. You put whatever you want to of mine, wherever you want to get the word out there.
Awesome, man. All right. Well, great meeting you. Great
It
chat.
was great meeting
Let
you
me
too. Yes,
know
sir.
if you want to do, maybe we do a show together where you present stuff and I just go, whoa, wow.
Yeah, yeah. Honestly,
That'll be my contribution.
I didn't really. I'd love to do that, man. I'd love to mind blow you because, truth be told, when I first started out, your videos were a lot ones that I started watching before my. I was like maybe a couple hundred, couple thousand followers. I was seeing your videos all over the internet. I'm like, man, who is this Flat Earth Dave guy? And again, you probably made me question more about the Earth than a lot of other people. Like, I never really looked too much into the moon landing, like you said. Never looked
Yeah.
into much of any of that. Started seeing some of your videos and seeing your videos of you just schooling the Globers and the people that are so like warped into their indoctrination. So I always loved your videos, man. I'd love to kind of get the opportunity to blow you away. Give me a little bit of time to get some pictures and some videos together, show you some really cool stuff of the old world.
Let's do that. How do you share? Do you share like you just screen share or do you use OBS?
Yeah, just kind of screen share. I mean, I
Okay.
I don't really have a specific preference or anything. Like, just kind of use whatever tools available, whatever works best for what I'm trying to present.
All right. Well, let's definitely schedule something.
Sounds good. Yeah, man. We'll go back and forth in emails, find a time that works best, and we'll go from there.
Okay. Awesome, Jake. Appreciate it.
Have a good night, Dave, and question everything, bud. Till
All right.
next time.